guys, it's Lynnea with a video for Penguin Palace stamps, and today I'm going to be using a die set as well as the birthday unicorn stamp set. So to start off with, I took the cross-stitched dots large die set and I die cut the largest one as well as the third largest or the second smallest, however you want to look at it. I die cut both of those dies from some heavyweight cardstock. And now I'm going to do a bit of ink blending, and these are going to form my background. So for my first one, I'm using Dusty Concord as well as Milled Lavender. And my idea is to have dark at one end and light at the other. And you could definitely do this with one ink color and just bring that color down to the bottom and soften it. But I like the idea of having this two-toned color, and besides that, these are some of my favorite ink colors, so I wanted to use both of them. So I started with the Dusty Concord, and it looks kind of splotchy, but it does smooth out as it dries. And I just used the Milled Lavender at the bottom. So same idea here with the smaller one. Fossilized Amber is my dark color, and then Squeezed Lemonade is my light. And you can kind of see that little splotch there at the top as I'm blending on my Fossilized Amber. I'm not sure what that is. It's definitely something on the cardstock, so I don't know if it got wet and that very well could be because I used a baby wipe to clean up my work surface. So either way, it didn't dry back. It was still there when this piece had dried, so I went back and just did the same exact blending, but on a different piece of cardstock because that little splotch was bothering me there. Okay, so I've grabbed the Birthday Unicorn stamp set, and I'm using the unicorn image with the bunch of balloons. That's my favorite image in this stamp set. And I'm going to be using a coloring technique that is new to me. It's been around a while, but it has always intimidated me. And recently I was at Junkie Fest and I tried it, and it's called no line coloring. So basically I'm using the fade out ink, and you can stamp it as many times as you want. I stamped it twice here. My work area is not bright. It was actually raining the day that I was filmed this, so it wasn't bright, so I needed a little bit of that extra color. But so you can basically stamp this a couple times, but it will still dry back to nothing. So for no line coloring, you basically color up to the edge of that stamped image and then blend out towards the middle. So I wanted my unicorn to be white, so I'm using some N0, some N2, and some colorless blender. Taking my darkest color directly up to the edge, kind of coming and blending out with my light, and then tapping that colorless blender on to fade it out to be white. Same idea with my pale pink here for the nose. I just basically traced where the edges of the stamp should be. And then I'm coming in with my colorless blender just to soften that out a bit because I wanted this little unicorn to be super soft. So I'm on to the balloons now. And I'm going to be using the medium as my dark tone and the light as my light. So I'm coloring about half my balloon with the medium and then blending out with my light, but I am leaving a little bit of a highlight uncolored. And so now just as I finish this up, I wanted to add some white gel pen details, and this is my first time coloring like this no line coloring technique. So it's definitely not perfect, but I think this unicorn turned out so super cute with his pastel balloons and his little pink snout. I think he's just so cute. So he's going to be the focal point of my card. Once he's all colored and I've accented him with the white gel pen, I will use my scissors to cut him out, but there are coordinating dies for this stamp set. So now I am positioning him on the yellow die cut panel. And I'm just going to be positioning my sentiment and stamping it in black underneath him. So at this point, I had just planned to put the yellow die cut piece on top of this purple one, but it was looking super plain. So I flicked on some water, picked it up with a dry towel for some texture, and I'm like, oh wow, it still wasn't what I had in my head. So I went and I die cut the second largest one from white cardstock and thought I would mat that in between. And it still wasn't enough. This card needed some sparkle because all unicorns should sparkle, right? So I grabbed my little line stickers here from another stamp company, and I am just going to go around and leave probably like an 1/8 of an inch border around the edge of this cardstock, and check out how this is starting to come together. I'm going to layer that on top of my purple die cut piece and then put that yellow one right on top. And in the end, this turned out to be super shimmery, and I love the addition of that white die cut panel there. Just using my T-square ruler to make sure everything is straight, and then I will add some clear, well, I guess they're kind of white gems, and that completes this card. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you all next time. Bye!